In this video, I want to share with you how to actually stop letting things bother you. And I got 8 ways that I'm going to share with you, okay? The first way to stop letting things bother you is to learn how to pause. So a lot of your problems are coming from the fact that you are reacting impulsively to things. You're not giving yourself enough time to process and assess what the hell just happened, what was just said to you. Something happens, something gets said, and right in that moment, you feel like, I have to address this, I have to check this right now. And what you have to really understand is that you don't have to give them a piece of your mind right then. You actually have a choice. You can actually choose to take a moment, take a breath, walk away, create some space, do whatever you got to do to get out of that moment so that you can start doing this kind of recovery type thing. And what I mean is putting yourself in a position to where you can calm down. When something gets said to you, it puts you in that fight or flight. You're in that protective mode. I need to defend myself. Your ego is going off in your brain, telling you that, hey man, you can't let people treat you that way. So a lot of things are going on in this moment. And that's why it's so important for you to create that space. You got to learn how to pause before you respond. Number 2 is learn how to master your breathing. Okay. When somebody says something to you or does something to you, it naturally kind of makes you clam up. Like I said, you go into that fight or flight and you start holding your breath. Your breathing patterns start to shift as well because you're in protective mode. Okay. So it's really important to learn how to regain control of your breathing patterns. This is going to allow you to get into your parasympathetic nervous system. When you're in fight or flight, you're in your sympathetic. Okay. That's when you're trying to defend yourself. Parasympathetic is more of cool, calm, collected, grounded. So you want to do your best to learn how to start implementing that when something gets said to you and it pisses you off. Mastering your breathing is a powerful way in doing this. Like I said in that first one, when you learn how to pause, when you step away, when you're stepping away, you also want to get used to putting your awareness on your breathing when you're doing this. And the more you do this, this will all start to become one. I'm giving you steps right now, but the more you do it, it'll start to become more fluid and it'll flow a little bit better. So you want to learn to start focusing on your breathing, man. Something simple is called box breathing. Take an inhale for 4 seconds, hold it for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds. Keep doing that over and over again, okay? Start training your brain so that it can learn how to calm itself when you get pissed off. All right, so the third way to stop letting things bother you is to just accept what you can't control, man. Practicing acceptance is very powerful. What I mean is, in any situation, somebody says something, somebody does something, really critical is happening in your life, man, you have to just practice acceptance. It is what it is, okay? You can't control every single thing that's going on. All you can really control is your response to it. That's why this list is so powerful, because it's going to empower you to be able to take more control over your life. But when we don't accept what it is and we're constantly resisting what is, when we're going against the flow of things, that creates a lot of stress in our lives. That creates the dynamic for us to be bothered by everything because we can't accept. You're trying to resist. You're trying to go against. Stop fighting the current. It is what it is. Just work on what you can work on. Control what you can control. The fourth way to stop letting things bother you so much is to learn to detach from outcomes and expectations. A lot of us develop these unhealthy attachments to outcomes, man. We think it's supposed to go a certain way, and if it doesn't, it just kind of messes everything up for us and really throws us off. It's really important to start practicing detachment, man. This doesn't mean to be like a robot, to be emotionless or anything like that. What it means is to not be so consumed with things going a certain way. Realizing that life is all over the place. It's not linear. It's not a straight line. So learning how to be flexible, learning how to not be so rigid, not having these crazy expectations for people, places, and things, so that when it don't go that way, now everything then throwing you off. Now you kind of all out of sorts. You want to develop more resilience. You want to be able to not get so knocked off your square if things don't go exactly how you need them to go. All right. Learn how to be more adaptable, be more bulletproof. Don't get knocked around so easily whenever a strong gust of wind comes. All right. Number 5 is to stop taking things so personally. You're more than likely taking things way too personally, which is causing you to feel bothered and irritated and agitated all the time. You need to realize that nothing is really about you. Okay, nothing anybody does, anybody says has anything to do with you. It may be directed to you, it may feel like that in the moment, but you got to understand that it's just a reflection of how that person sees the world. And if you take that person's reflection of how they see the world and make it about you, that's going to make your life a lot harder than it really needs to be. Okay, like I said, this is not easy to do. This is going to require practice to do this. Just start to realize that everybody is just a product of their upbringing, the environments they grew up in, and so are you. Okay, so let them be who they are, and not take on so much like what they think about you, what they say about you. Stop caring so much. This plays into detachment too. Detach from what people think about you. In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter. The sixth way to stop letting things bother you so much is to learn what your triggers are. You got to learn what pisses you off. For example, something that comes to my mind is like I'm in a new relationship now. I've noticed when I get triggered in this relationship dynamic at times because maybe I feel like my space or my time to myself kind of gets impeded on. And this is something that I've had to learn, like how to communicate about it, how to learn, even when I'm triggered, even when something activates me in a way, I have to learn how to communicate this. This is something that I have to put awareness on. So learn your triggers, learn what pisses you off so that when that does happen, you can communicate to somebody and say, hey, this is kind of hit me in this way. I need some time to myself. I need to take a pause. This empowers you. You take more control over your life when you learn what your buttons are. You're not going to ever get to a point where your buttons never get pushed, but you can get to a point where you, like I said, you gain more control over how you respond to those buttons being pushed. The seventh way to stop letting things bother you all the time is to stop having to be right all the time. It's okay for your point to not be the point. You know what I mean? Like I used to make this mistake too, man. Like it was almost like I didn't know how to create a space for somebody to have their opinion too. Being able to have dialogue with people and being able to let them voice what they feel, that what they think, and creating, banter, being able to go back and forth, having debates at time. That stuff is healthy. When you can't create that type of space, man, and you're super rigid on how you feel about things and your point of view, and then this leads into arguments, and now the debate has taken a left turn, and now you cussing the person out, and I don't know, just now your whole time is ruined. You don't have to be right all the time, okay? And the sooner you can learn this, the better. You want to have space for everybody to have an opinion, okay? This is going to make things a lot easier for you, so not everything in your life is bothering you so much. You got to be a bit more open-minded. You have to understand that not everybody sees the world through the lens that you see it. Fellas, if you're getting any value out of this list, please hit that like button. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for whenever I make more content just like this. Now, for this last way to stop letting things bother you so much, you have to learn how to pick your battles. Not everything needs your time and attention. It's that simple. It's not easy to do because, like I said on the front end of this video, you're going to naturally be pulled into things and want to correct people, get your point across, argue, you're attached to these outcomes, all these things that I'm talking about. You want to learn how to pick and choose. You want to learn how to be more selective, like, you know what? That don't even require my time and attention right now. I got this to go work on. I need to go put my focus in on this, man. I can't let this distract me. You want to learn how to give yourself more choice in deciding what requires attention and what doesn't, all right? And I'm hoping that this list in of itself is creating that for you. I'm hoping that this really provides you some value so that you can get to the next level in your self-improvement journey. So that's all I got for you in this video. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you check out my playlist on emotional intelligence. Make sure you check out my playlist on traits of a masculine man. And I'm sure there's something in there for you that you'll enjoy, all right? I'll see you on the next video. Peace.